Hello, and it's time for another episode in Storytime with Norman. And today I am going to tell you about an audit that, in many ways, is one that I'm most proud of because it was so unusual. It is a sort of audit that I don't think many people would have thought of. So let me paint the picture for you. This was when I was head of internal audit for the Tosco Corporation. And one of our business units was the Circle K convenience store business, which was about 6,000 roughly gas stations and convenience stores in the United States, franchised overseas, but we're really talking about just those within the United States, mostly in the South, California, south over to Florida. And I used to attend, as I did with the refining company, as often as I could, I would attend the executive meetings of the division president. In this case, it was a gentleman called Bob Lavinia. He was a CEO of Tosco Marketing Company, which was the operating headquarters, if you like, of the Circle K operation. In this meeting, at one point, he asked, where do we stand on our advertising program? Now, let me explain a little bit. Circle K convenience store business as a whole, as well as the gas station business, is a very low margin business. And we needed to have something to say to pull people in to our stores, which were competing with stores like 7-Eleven or the gas stations other gas stations own convenience stores. For example, Texaco, Exxon, they only have convenience stores, small shops attached to their gas stations. So we needed something that was going to be different and would appeal to customers and bring them in. So Bob asked the head of marketing, where do we stand? And the head of marketing looked around and said, well, we're not ready to go forward with it because we don't have anything interesting to say. We don't have anything that we can come up with which is going to be attractive and pull people in. We don't really want to spend a lot of money on an advertising campaign that just repeats what we did last year, which was very successful because we had this brilliant brand of coffee, the best coffee that was around at that time. So this year they didn't have anything to say. And so Bob was quite upset because he said, without that, how do we know we're going to reach our revenue targets? How do we know we're not going to get our own customers siphoned away because 7-Eleven and the others are more effective in advertising and promoting their brand? So everybody left that meeting quite concerned. The CFO had echoed what Bob had said about the need to push revenue up because the forecast was that next month, when the marketing program came out, we would see an increase in revenue. And without this, what was going to happen? So I thought about it. And that afternoon, I went up to see Bob. And I said, I think I'd like to have a shot at helping solve this particular problem. It sounds like there's a problem harnessing the imagination and creativity of the organization to come up with innovative products and services or innovative ways of doing business or something to pull people into all of our convenience stores. I'd like to do an audit, a special project audit that would look at how we as an organization, how we as a company are surfacing these ideas. Because I knew that there were studies and there was guidance on creativity and imagination within the organization. I knew that. I'd read some of it. I like to read and explore all kind of different topics, and this was one that I had seen, not related to convenience stores, but other organizations when they wanted to make sure that people were being innovative and coming up with new ideas, whether it be products in banking or somewhere else. So he said, go for it. So I did. I went and I talked to the marketing people and I talked to sales. And I also went out and I talked to some of the people in the stores. I like to get out in the business to really understand what's happening. And I had seen in previous visits to the stores that some of them were working with local merchants who had handmade products and things like that. And they would put them in their convenience store, their Circle K in that particular part of the world. And it would be interesting to the customers who could see local products being sold in their local Circle K shop. So I knew there were some ideas. I went to the marketing people and I said, well, how did you try and figure out what to promote? How did you look at this? Who did you talk to? Did you go and did you talk to the people who run the stores? Because they are the people who are in touch, talking to the customer every day. They understand trends in what the customers are asking for, what they're not asking for, where the sales are. And he said, well, we did that a few years ago. We went out and we talked to people in the stores, and they're different in different parts of the country. But they had ideas, and we decided to invest in their ideas. And frankly, it was a waste of money. We just couldn't generate any additional sales based upon their ideas. So we're not talking to them anymore. We're going to come up with our own ideas. So, well, what's happening? Because you're not coming up with ideas. And then I went and talked to the people running the store business, and they said, yes, we've got some ideas of our own, but marketing won't listen to us. I said, well, this is not working. So I went back to Bob and I said, I think I know where the problem is. If you want to harness the creativity of the organization, the ideas of the organization, you've got to tap into the imagination of every employee. You've got to be in touch with the customer. You've got to be out there talking. You've got to be listening to the store manager and the district managers who know what customers are talking about and what they're asking for. And he agreed absolutely 100%. And so he made that happen. He went to the marketing people and said, sit down with the store people, have a conference call, if you like, with the different regions and the different locations, the different major concentrations of our Circle K stores, and see what is local, because maybe we need to have specialized marketing in different areas, different advertising programs. They came up with a better program, and this was something that I like to think about, because looking at it in hindsight, there was a serious risk that we were not going to be able to achieve our objectives because we could not develop an effective, new, attractive marketing program. The root cause of that turned out to be a lack of confidence, lack of trust within different parts of the organization, a lack of process. I remember internal auditors are, or should be, experts in process. This was a breakdown in process. So when we identify a risk, even a non-traditional one, we should think about how can we help the organization be successful? How can we identify root causes that are contributing to this problem whether it be a current problem or a problem that is coming and can be seen as a risk. What can we do to help? And we shouldn't limit ourselves to traditional areas of focus. Well, I hope you enjoy that, and subscribe please to this YouTube channel. Thank you.